Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. That is our NEET strategy session. I hope so. All of you are now on board on YouTube and Facebook so that we can start our session and discuss about what you need to do for the last 10 days before your examination. Right? So there's a sense of confusion, or there's a sense of anxiety and a little bit of fear all around, you know within our students, that now for the next 10 days will be the most important days to give NEET. And how do we prepare, how do we go now to actually revise our topic that we have studied? Okay, and what are the important things we need to do, and what are the what are the do's and don'ts, which is now we should focus upon. Okay, so this session will try to emphasize that what you need to do in the last 10 days of your NEET preparation, okay, and how to score 550 plus. Now this series is of of three different sessions. Today is biology. Tomorrow at the same time we'll have physics. Okay, and day after tomorrow, that is on Friday, we'll have chemistry. Okay, so I believe these are the very important session, will not take much of your time. Okay, because every minute is important. Okay, so we'll try to complete this session within 15-20 minutes. Okay, and give you the utmost thing that is required for your preparation, right? Okay, so we'll directly move down to our presentation here that you can see. Okay, yes, it is here. So NEET 2018 strategy session biology. I, your very own Red Nation. Right. I'm Ashar Firdausi, and let's start this session for all of you. So, guys, first of all, I congratulate all of you that you still are working hard for scoring good in your NEET examination. First of all, very congratulations. The last 10 days are the most important days of any examination, because there you need to understand what you need to do in the last 10, and that's the confusion sometimes that we are going to do. We'll remove this confusion. Okay, now to let you understand what you need to do, first of all, let's see what is the syllabus. Okay, and how you need to actually revise it. Okay, now it's written here 50%, right? It's written here 50%. What do I mean by that? Okay, it's not the marks that you need to have in your NEET examination, or it's not the eligibility criteria. It's the proportion of 11th and 12th topics that is there in the NEET. Okay, people sometimes miss. Okay, it's very important thing, because it can be a game changer, guys. How? I'll let you know. So what I say, the 50% of the syllabus that comes to NEET is of 11th, right? And the next 50% is of 12th. Now, those of you who are preparing, okay, will understand that core biology, the maximum chapters are actually there in 11th class. May it be your human physiology, may it be your plant physiology, your cell chapter, even diversity. Okay, they all are in 11th class. And the whole thing is only of 50%. If you'll see any past 5-year paper, you'll find that 45 questions are 44, like 44, 45 questions, or 44, 45, 46 questions are from 11th, and that's the next half is 12th. So what do I mean here? What do I mean here? Most of you are actually just giving your 12th examination, right? Exactly. That means you have studied very hard for your boards. What you have studied? You have studied 12th syllabus, right? What is there? It starts with reproduction, genetics, and evolution. We don't forget that. Okay. Then your microbes in human welfare, or biotechnology, and last but not the least is ecology, right? 5 units, 5 units, and there are not very big chapters in them, if I exclude ecology and slightly genetics. Okay, so that means the 50% marks is now in your hand, first of all. Okay, why? Because You just revise that the whole syllabus 1 month back. Okay, you just need to revise it once again on the basis of need. The very important point here is that some of the chapters of 12th class, okay, are directly from NCERT. Maybe microbes and human welfare, maybe biotechnology, evolution, including ecology, right? Even some chapters of reproduction. That means if your NCERT is in your hand, the questions will be yours. I say the answers will be yours. Fine, all right, the correct answers. So let's do a good and quick preparation here. Okay, fine, and let's try to understand what we need to do in 11th. Now I'll show you the past trends. In my next slides I'll show you the past trends and the average number of questions in each chapter as well as unit. That will actually open your mind that see, we all understand the whole biology is very tough, and we also have our favorites. For example, somebody like botany, other people like zoology, and some are mixtures, like I like this chapter, I like those chapters. That's it. Okay, so what you need to do is like the chapters which you are focusing upon may not be that much scoring chapter, right? Okay, maybe you're giving heart out there. Okay, reading everything in digestive system, including something which is from mbbs classes also. But is it that important? How many questions are coming from that chapter? Do you know that? That we need to first of all think. Okay, because last 10 days we need to figure it out what we can do. Your time is limited, guys. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So what I've collated some of the 11th grade, past year papers, okay, and I've tried to take out the average number of questions from that particular chapter or unit. Okay, what do I mean by that? Maybe in 2007, okay, there are 10 questions in it, and there are in 2016 there are only 2 questions in. I've taken out an average. That means at least these many questions will be there. Okay, right. So let us see one by one what is there. And I'll so here you can see the unit average, and here you can see the chapter average. If you will see, this is the very first unit that you have. That I call it, we call it diversity, right? We call it diversity. Diversity is one of the lengthiest chapter of your biology. Okay, why? Reason, you have, first of all, you need to study classification. You need to study a lot of things in that. Okay, how do we classify? What are the criteria? What are the taxonomy and nomenclature and all the things. Okay, first the living world chapter is, and then you have biological classification, in which you have the three separate kingdoms: monorin, protista, and fungi. Okay, then you have plant kingdom, and then you have animal kingdom. But if you see this particular whole unit, on an average, you will not have 10 to 11 questions, not more than that. Diversity. Okay, that's what I have divided here, if you can see here. Right. So, I'll not divide the whole biology into botany and zoology. That's up to you. Okay, I've still, marked the, parts here. That's up to you. So, what I'll try to do and let you understand, if you have good animal kingdom, try to focus on it. Okay. And if you have weak plant kingdom, okay, try to at least do algae. Okay, all right. And some of the important questions, previous year questions, please do that. Because if one or two questions, it clicked, you may not miss the marks. Because sometimes in some chapters, at least you have your foundations well. Okay, so this is one of those chapters which need a thorough reading. Okay, it is slightly more than NCRT always. Okay, right. So what I suggest you here is that divide these unit into different chapters or maybe kingdoms. Okay, on one day you'll do algae, on another day you'll do fungi, on another day you do plant, and in plant also you can divide. And animal is still big. So in 10 days or in 5 days, you will divide this animal, this whole diversity chapter, and try to do previous year questions. Now, what is needed here? When you revise, when you do questions, mark those questions which you couldn't do. That is important for the last derivation. See, what you have done correct, it will be there in your mind. Okay, but what you have done wrong, okay, you need to revise it. Okay, so that's a key point here. Very important. Okay, last 1 or 2 days, you need to just see those questions which you have circled. That's it. Okay, right. Now, next we'll move on to another chapter, okay, which is called structural organization in animals and plants. Okay, it has three basic chapters: morphology of flowering plants, anatomy of flowering plants, and structural organization in animals, which have animal tissues and only cockroach. You don't have frog, don't have earthworm. No, you can study that in animal kingdom, but uh, a general account of cockroach is important here. You need to study all the systems, but there are some pet questions there. Okay, you need to do that. You'll find it there in your previous year papers. Okay, that's not a problem. You can log into Merit Nation. You can find the previous year paper on net everywhere. That's easily available. That's not a problem. Okay, that you can do. On Merit Nation, you'll get year by year or topic by topic. That's only advantage. Okay, morphology in flowering plants, if we'll talk about. Okay, first uh, few, if you talk about root, stems, leaf. Okay, very basic type of question, that what are the well, like for example, if you talk about root, storage, what are their functions, what are the examples. Though it a kind of a chapter which requires slight mugging. Okay, but some people are very good in it. Okay, good in morphology, I'm talking about, not in mugging. Okay, so try to understand which are your strong areas. If that is your strong areas, you need to do that. Okay, anatomy, secondary growth is one of the most important topic in anatomy, guys. Okay, now just to complete morphology, some people think that we are not able to learn floral formulas. We're not able to do this. We'll not. Don't go for last 10 days now. Don't go for those topics which you don't know. Okay, that's a very, very important thing, guys. Sometimes we actually lose our time. Okay, in studying those topics which we don't know, while that is the important time to revise those topics which you have learned earlier. That will actually concrete. That's what we say. It will make your revision concrete. Okay, so try to do that. Now, next is morphology. So if you don't need to understand, if you don't understand floral formulas and all that, forget about it. Not more than one question from that. Okay, right. So just you have still 89 questions in your hand. Let's move ahead. Secondary growth, as I told you, that's an important thing. Kindly do that. Structural organization, animal tissues. If you see animal tissue, see only epithelial tissues you need to study separately, glands and all. Okay, right. Then come into connective tissues, where you have your what I can say, simple connective tissue, right? Now in that you have a lot of things. Try to do that. Try to cover that portion, because why I'm saying, in the next is nervous tissue and muscular tissue. Will study in animal physiology. That's not a big problem. Okay, but for example, bones, cartilage, tendons, okay, ligaments, fine, adipose tissues, these you will not study anywhere in animal physiology. So that you need to revise from here. Okay, and a very simple one or two question from here is what last year trends will be. Now the next important chapter, you can see here, the cell. They have divided very, on an average, from cell 4 questions, biomolecule 2 questions, and cell cycle and cell division 2 questions. Biomolecule is one chapter which you can study twice, in chemistry as well as in biology, right? Okay, so it should be good. And normally the question comes from here, from enzymes, proteins. Okay, nucleic acid, we do understand. We have studied in genetics, we have studied it in biotechnology, and you need to study in biomolecules. So that's the basics, I think, that we can do. Cell cycle, cell division, do understand that. Some question from meiosis. Okay, some questions from general, like cytokinesis and all that, G1 G2 phase. Okay, so revise that. So 8 marks. Okay, on an average, I'm talking about still. Now next we are moving to two very important unit. One is plant physiology and animal physiology. So first, I'll cover plant physiology, which has only 5 chapters. Okay, but it covers 8 marks. Okay, and sometimes more or less. Okay, so first of all, you need to focus on photosynthesis, respiration, plant growth and development. These 3 chapters are very important. First of all, okay, why I'm saying it is very important. See, when you study photosynthesis and respiration, okay, when you go for cycle, when you go for the enzymatic reaction that are actually required, you will actually cover a little bit of mineral nutrition also. For example, what is the function of magnesium? Okay, you must have studied that in photosynthesis. That is chlorophyll, right? Exactly. So that's how you need to revise things. Okay. Now, next is so photosynthesis, respiration. These are the chapters which I cannot say that this part is important, this part is important. But what I'll tell you, at least for history part of photosynthesis, okay, try to read it from NCRT, Rubin Kamen, Hill reaction, and all those things. Read it from NCRT and make your, you know, underline or make your notes, whatever you have already done it. So that's absolutely fine. Then move on to plant growth and development. Plant growth and development is a chapter which have small topics. Okay, small topics like vernalization. Okay, right. Photoperiodism. Okay, these are very small topics. The movement of plants, tropism or a tactic movement, and question comes from here. It's definitely coming. Okay, don't lose marks here. These are very easy thing. Vernalization, what is there inside? Photoperiodism, you need to learn only long day plan, short day plan, and the examples stick to your NCRT. Okay, so that's the kind of revision you need to do here. Okay, so whenever you're revising a chapter, revise it NCRT. NCRT should be always there with you. Now, next is mineral nutrition and transport in plant. Transport in plant, do go for two topics, everyone, that people miss. One is osmosis. Okay, fine. So try to understand what are the functions and where they are used. There was some question that in root, which one is there? Diffusion or osmosis? These are the simple question that already there, but people still make mistakes. Okay, all right. Water potential. Okay, right. DPD. Now the things are very simple. DPD and water potential are just same, just opposite in sign. Okay, right. But you need to understand the water is moving where to where. People make mistakes here. Do one or two questions to actually clarify your doubt. Okay, right. So kindly don't miss the marks here. Okay, and last but not least, when you complete all these things, mineral nutrition. Okay, some of the things that are there, for example, water transport, xylem and phloem. Pretty simple, not such a big concept. Okay, do that. And last, that is mineral nutrition. When you will complete it, you will understand that half of the minerals you already know. Okay, and what are their functions? Now, one of the biggest unit I'll say is your animal physiology. 13 marks, guys. It's not one or two chapters. It is if you'll divide, if you go, it is six chapter, including digestion, breathing, circulation, excretion, right, and your sorry, Windows 10, and uh, locomotion, as well as the last is your uh, this chapter, neural control and coordination and chemical coordination regulation. So in total, we have seven chapters. Okay, right, seven chapters, 13 marks. If if I'll try to understand, if you want to become a doctor, one of the reason maybe is that you like human physiology. Typically, if I'll say, right, exactly, you are amazed by digestion, breathing, circulation, excretion. Okay, now out of these, if you'll see digestion, circulation, excretory, okay, and neurocoordination and your endocrine, if I'll say, maximum questions are from there. So you need to revise first these chapters. I'll not tell you how to revise. I'll not tell you what are the important topics here. You already know it. Okay. You just need to revise what you have studied earlier. Don't go for anything new, and go for previous year questions and NCRT. Okay. That will be fine for human physiology. At least out of 13, out of 10 questions, out of 12 questions, you can do 8, 9 questions from it. Okay. Okay. So that should be your target. This is 11th. Okay, now let's move on to 12th part. If you'll see 12th, see the bifurcation here. Reproduction 11, heredity and evolution almost 11. But I have combined, microbes and biotechnology. It's also 12 marks. Ecology. This is chapter which people miss. Okay, they say, okay, fine. Ecology is so boring and all. But this is that chapter of biology, and one more chapter, that is evolution. which can actually decide your grade, your rank, which can land you in a good rank holder's position. Mind my words, because uh, ecology is a chapter, is a unit which has almost 10 to 12 questions every year, and from every chapter. Okay, so it's one of the most important chapter. And what you need to do, you need to study NCRT for it. That's it. Evolution. Okay, very some people find that there is this very less relationship between when we study evolution, the irony is a very less relationship between things. But guys, theories questions are there, human evolution questions are there, Hardy Weinberg, just revise that one concept and one numerical out of it, maybe a question from there. Okay, so evolution and ecology. I'm saying it once again. Okay, it's one of the most important chapters for scoring good in biology. Okay, people can score 70. People can score 60, attempt 60, 75, 60, 70 questions. Okay, but when you revise ecology and evolution, you will understand that you'll go beyond 70. That's that's my suggestion for you, if I'll say try to revise it. So I'll just tell you. So here it is: reproduction in organism. NCRT is more than enough for it. Okay, not more than that. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants and human reproduction. You have seen a good amount of questions is always there. And yes, zift, jift. These are the concepts, contraceptives. These are the concepts which are really easy to understand, which are very interesting. There is always a good questions from it. Okay, don't lose marks here. These are golden opportunities. I understand when we move into genetics, heredity and variation fine till the Mendel fine. There's variation, there is linkage, then is all the questions on linkage is also there every. Okay, don't lose marks there. At least revise. Okay, right. Then molecular basis of inheritance. You've seen that 443. Okay, molecular basis of inheritance. Question is always there, maybe from the discoveries, maybe from the your replication, your even that's very important. That is operant. Okay, so don't lose marks there. There's a lot of questions from there, but at least go through the previous year questions and NCRT. That's important for all of you. Evolution, as I told you, I'll keep emphasizing it. This is a chapter which will make a difference. Okay, because normally people revise genetics, they'll not revise evolution. Now this particular unit, this guys NCRT. Go for NCRT. Study it thoroughly. Okay, line by line. Even for evolution, the human evolution part, even the question in board paper, exact line. Okay, so even in boards that is also being made by CBSE. So they actually look upon NCRT to make questions. Don't lose marks. Okay. Last but not the least is your logic. Organism and environment, ecosystem, biodiversity and its conservation, and environmental issues. You can see environmental issues is one of the most important chapter. Okay, and your organism and environment. Okay, at least you can revise that. And biodiversity is not very much difficult if you'll see previous questions. Yes, it's you need to learn, which biodiversity where, what are the conservations. In conservation, do remember the red data. Okay, that is your endangered species and all those things. What they mean, what are the examples, simple examples. Okay, one question, you'll find that question and you will be happy that I have revised that. Okay, so this is what you need to do. So if you'll understand, if you would have understood till now here, that in biology, every chapter, every unit is important. There's not something like other paper that you'll study this part. You can actually, okay, fine, this is 10 marks. Okay, you can forget it. But biology is the most scoring thing, and every chapter is important. Okay, some are good, some are bad. That up to you. Okay, but every chapter is important. Okay, that you need to revise. I've talked about what are the things that you need to revise it from NCRT. I've talked about what are the things that you need to focus upon, the topics. Everything is there. Now let us understand what you need to do a day or two before examination. Okay, so before uh, 2 days of examination, let's say, right? What you need to do. So don't, first of all, don't stress out. That's really important because sometimes we feel, sometimes it's really something like that. On the day of examination, we feel really headache, sleeplessness, anxiety. That shouldn't be there. Maybe you have studied the whole year, 2 years, okay, but on that day, if your health is not good, the half battle is lost, not won. Okay, so first of all, for the last 2 days, don't feel pressure, don't feel anxiety. Okay, it's not the last, examination of your life. Okay, it's fine. You have studied well. You just need to focus upon what you need to do in the last 2 days. Revise whatever you have studied in the last 8 days. Okay, right. That is your 4th and 5th of May. Okay, and focus mainly upon revising, not studying anything new. Please don't study anything new. Okay, all right. Now, next is what you need to do. How many questions you need to do? So 90 questions in biology, right? And you want 550 plus marks to have a good score, have a good college. Okay. So out of 90 questions, my target for you is at least 75 to 80 questions. Now, this looks very optimistic, right? This looks like, sir, only 15. See, if you opt for it, then only you can revise for it. Okay. No one is holding your hand in examination and you have to do 80 questions. No. I'm just talking about right now what should be your target. Your target should be 75 to 80. Okay, right. Now what you need to do in examination. Now in examination, when you are doing biology, okay, in a single go, see how many questions you have done. You can easily done. Okay. And don't these examinations have negative marks, guys. Don't go for your in pin, septipin, in pin, out. No, please don't do that. Okay, it has negative marking. Okay, all right. So what you need to do, okay, what you need to do here is that in a single go, let's say you have done 65 questions. Okay, and some questions you have kept for reassessing. Okay, that okay, fine. I'll try and look at that this one again. Okay, then see that. Okay, and if you're confident, then only move ahead, go for 70 questions. But in a single go, if you can do at least 70-75 questions, nothing better than that. Okay. But my only suggestion for all of you, okay, don't go for just to do 75 questions. You just take things. No, don't do that. Okay. At least you will save from negative marking, because if you just one question you got negative, okay, you lose 5 marks, not one, because 4 marks of that question, including one of the previous one that you could have done right. Okay, so don't miss your marks. Don't malign your paper while doing tricky questions. Okay, all right. Read your questions thoroughly. There is a word that I always tell students. There's a hidden word. It's always hidden. That is called not. Right? That is called not. And you will find in a single reading, you will not find this word because it's always hidden somewhere. Read it once again, you'll find this word, because this not will actually give you negative marking. Okay, so do read your questions twice. 180 questions, 180 minutes, you have at least to have one question per minute. You can do that. Okay, and in 1 hour definitely you can do 90 questions, so that will save 90 questions for the next 2 hours. Okay, right, so try to do that for during examination. All right. So this should be your target, 70 questions, okay, in a single go, and so that you will complete the paper, and at the end of the day 70-75 questions you can do. All right, that somehow will now you will left with almost 60-65 questions that you will complete it in next 90 questions of chemistry and physics. Okay, now I believe for the next days, means tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you have physics and chemistry. They will guide you how you will have to do your chapters of chemistry and physics. Okay, the one thing that you need to remember once again, guys, it's don't push yourself, okay, towards anxiety, towards tension, okay, towards pressure. Feel blessed, okay, feel fine. You have studied all through the years. If not all through the years, you have studied a lot that can actually give you good marks. Be confident, not overconfident, not underconfident. Okay, right. Revise well, revise the way I told you. Okay, definitely you will have good marks all along. Okay, and from my side, from Merit Nation side, and from all the people who want you to become a doctor, we we actually wish a very good luck to all of you for your examination, and just make us proud. Okay, good luck, everyone. From my side, I'm signing off. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.